You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, y'all know what time it is.
The subject should be the end of the show.
Y'all know what time it is.
No charcoal grills are allowed.
Not
What? I got you,
yeah, illegally selling water without a permit
On my property.
Whoa! Hey!
You don't live here.
I'm uncomfortable.
Well, imagine there's a floor debate going on, and a white state legislator is talking, and all of a sudden, he decides to call a black colleague Buckwheat. Press play.
In many ROE rules, you're not allowed to fire until fired upon. Because that is when your safety, that is when your life is threatened. I'm getting there. Don't worry, Buckwheat, I'm getting there.
I'm
Now,
sorry.
what I'd like to say, that's an endearing term, by the way.
Representative Holtorf, we must maintain order in here and not refer to any individuals other than in any inappropriate manner. So please do not do that any further.
Mr. Sullivan,
Mr. Holt,
why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me?
We're going to be in a recess. We're in
Why
a
are you
short
yelling at me?
recess.
This is Colorado State Rep Richard Holtorf, and it was Fever in the Funk House. And here's the deal: he was challenged. Here's how crazy this thing was. He was challenged by Representative Tom Sullivan, and this dude Holtorf had previously told Homeboy he needed to get over the shooting death of his son, who was killed in the Aurora, Colorado theater in that massacre. This dude here is interesting. He has downplayed racism, and he later came out and apologized. Kyle Clark is a reporter who was covering this. This is the tweet here. Representative Holtorf spoke following the recess, first admonishing his colleagues about decorum before acknowledging his Buckwheat comment, quote, "I think we all need to consider what we do here and how we talk to each other. We all have to do better. I will start with me." That's that both sides nonsense. I'm just saying, so I'm just wondering, Robert, if you were a state legislator and one of your white colleagues said, "Be quiet, hey, Buckwheat," what would your response be?
Look, Roland, I got a lot of guns, like a lot.
Yeah, we've heard you describe. Yeah, yeah. For the folks who don't know, just share them with a few of your guns.
Slow down, hey, the ATF and look here, Mr. Federal Government. I don't think anybody needs. I have one super soaker. That's all. But I think at the same time,
Robert, you a damn lie. You've been on the show. First of all, Robert, I saw your ass on Fox News describing. Scott, stop talking, please. Thank you very much. Robert, I saw you on Fox News describing all your damn guns. So don't try to get here all quiet. Don't quiet in hell. No, damn well the ATF watch Fox News. They don't watch this show.
Shout out to the brothers over there at Hazeline Guns over in Laurel, Maryland. They all watch the show. They all love you, Roland. As soon as I walked in, they said, "Yeah, bring Roland out here." I was picking up some 10mm ammo. They said they need to bring you out here. But
he just did that. He just did that to you. Go on.
You got a better shot of seeing me at a Klan meeting than seeing me at a gun store.
Come on, Roland.
I don't. Gun.
You're from Texas.
Hey, I shot a gun one time. It was a machine gun at the FBI Academy. I'm like, this is a grossly overrated experience. I'm going to play golf. But go ahead, comment on this story, please. You said you got a lot of guns?
Roland, I'm not going to lie to you. I bought a gun during the show. I actually just got done ordering it last show.
You probably did. That's how easy it is. And hell, you probably had an Uber driver deliver it.
No, I got an AR-308, 80% lower, so it comes to your house and then you mill it out. But regardless, I think that's important for people to understand decorum, understand you don't talk to people. And also, it's funny how this only happens when white people accidentally say something racist and say it's a term of endearment. I've never seen a black person stand up in court or at a job or in a legislature and say, I'm sorry, Mr. Peckerwood, and then just say, oh, that's a term of endearment. He's my friend. It just doesn't happen. There's only certain groups that they slip out and they act, oh, I didn't know you didn't like being called buckwheat. So I think it's important for someone to speak with him, to admonish him for this reason, and to make it known that black people support the Second Amendment just as much as anybody else. So please don't refer to me as Mr. Buckwheat anymore.
Monique.
Man, it's horrible on levels that
It was funny.
I don't even, now, of course, like the lawyer in me was like, I want to see the picture of the person who he was referring to. I mean, are there some buckwheat similarities? I'm just trying to rule things out. But because I'm trying to grapple with how I ever do that. But I'm going to take that clip and I have white friends. I am going to make sure that my friends who are not Black see that as an example of what we are talking about when we say that the racism is right beneath the surface, and any given circumstance, any given Sunday, any given legislative meeting for an entire state, it can just topple out of your mouth. And that lets you know that if you somehow got comfortable enough to say that on camera in a legislative body meeting for a state where you represent thousands of people, what is at your dinner table? How are you making decisions in your companies? What are you doing if you're on boards for universities? How are you making financial decisions? Because that's what really matters. It's the power that is attached to the person who can call a man buckwheat and think that it is endearing. Roland, do you not have a picture of buckwheat? So people who are too young don't understand the level of insult. I mean, at least Eddie Murphy as buckwheat, if we don't have an original picture of buckwheat. But I firmly believe, like, I could go to my children and they may have no clue. And they're in their upper teens. So people might not know how much of a ridiculous insult that was, not just in terms of aesthetics or looks, but in terms of intellect, understanding. There we go.
Yeah.
This about the third time your ass and told me to pull some up during the show, Monique. So I'm just like to let you know.
I'm sorry.
I'm just like trying to let you know. You know, I ain't here to.
Don't apologize.
I ain't here to produce for you. Scott, go on with your.
Forgive me.
Scott, go on with your little comment, please.
Let him pull it up.
Scott, come on with your little comment.
You know, buckwheat was a pickaninny, which is another term for slave children whose hair was uncombed and they were considered to be ignorant and dumb because it was against the law to educate them, and all they wanted to do was run around, and they were lazy, and they didn't want to pick cotton. They were a pickaninny, or your buckwheat was a 1930s manifestation of that with the little gang or the whole gang or whatever the name of it was, to put some color into Spanky's gang, basically. But the comfortability, Roland, this legislature, the comfortability of white people when they use slow down buckwheat. At first I laughed, but then I thought he's talking to a grown-ass man, an elected official. And that's a term of endearment. He thought he was being funny. But you see, his implicit bias, his white privilege said he had a right to do that. See, this is the danger of white privilege, because white privilege, you know, people who are white, they'll say, well, I'm not a racist, and I'm against racism. But if you have implicit bias, or you have white privilege that allows you to use racial slurs because you think you have a pass because you have white privilege, that you are elevated where that Black person would certainly understand, that is our greatest challenge going forward after this racial reckoning.
Nah, see, I
workplace.
Nah, I think the problem is y'all trying to be all nice. I remember when I was in Atlanta.
In what world?
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
What you talking about?
I have the damn floor. When I was in Atlanta, when I was in Atlanta, we were shooting we shooting some interviews, and Judge Tarini Gundy, that was his young sister who worked for her, and she said, "Judge, why you always complaining about millennials?" She said, "'Cause you do millennial shit." When somebody says, "I'm not racist," no, we should say, "But you do racist shit." And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And we got to stop sitting here and dancing around and just call folk out for exactly what it is, which is why, and I've had some people say, "Roland, I mean, you know, you have this crazy-ass white people segment. How would you feel if there was a crazy-ass black people segment?" Monique said that, and I told Monique, I told Monique, "Well, get your own damn show." But mainstream media also had that basically for the existence of black people in this country. So here's my whole deal: if y'all don't want me to have a crazy ass white people segment, stop having crazy ass white people.
Stop being crazy.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.